card call. Good. USD chef. So the first one that I'm going to run through is the last one, which is USD chef. And let me just get this one up. Good. So USD CHF called a buy, right? USD CHF called a buy around 1.00790 on the 4-hour time frame. So dropping down to 2 time frames, right? So we're going to drop down to the 30-minute time frame. And we're going to see where this buy, where it is they want us to get into the market. All right. So identifying our downtrend. The rest is here for now. Right, so identifying our downtrend, and we've already actually had a start of this move. So if you guys had already started to jump into this move, because this was the latest candle, but I am sure that when this got called, it was around here, right? So if we go to the 15-minute where we would have entered, you could see how we had the break, the MACD. Now this is interesting because I get persons ask me this all the time, where you can see the trade has actually broken our trend line, right? So trade broke our trend line, trade broke the MACD, but where the MACD was broken and where the trend line was broken to different places, right? So if it's now breaking your trend line and it already broke your MACD, you would ask yourself, where do you enter? Now, if we look at the MACD really good, I'm just going to pull up full screen on the MACD. So you can see here, right, how the MACD actually crosses over the histogram first. But if your trade is not ready, you can wait on a slight pullback on the MACD, because the MACD also gives you that pullback, right? So you can see how, remember that your blue line is your fast line and your orange line is your slow line. So when the blue line crosses under the orange line, we're looking for a pullback in a sell, right? So you can wait for that pullback to happen if your trend line has not already been broken, right? When your trend line is broken, now all you have to do is, if it's already above the histogram, is that you're going to wait for your blue line to cross back above your orange line. So you're waiting for the blue line to cross back above the orange line, and that will signify that the pullback is finished. So I just wanted to, this is a good point here, because I know a lot of persons get confused sometimes too when the trend line is now broken, but the MACD is already crossed above or below, depending on if you're buying or selling the trade, right? So this is a good indication. All you need to do is wait for the trade to pull back. All right, so the trade pulls back, blue line crosses under the orange line, signals a sell, and then all we're going to do is wait for it to cross back above the orange line while still being above the histogram. So that obviously signals the continuation of the trade. So you can see here where we had it cross back over, right here. So here, right, is where you would have had the break of your trend line, right? Is where you would have had the break of your trend line. So that would have signaled this move. so far. About 15 pips up so far, right? Now, let's look at Euro CHF, and then I'm going to just go over to one thing I want to teach you guys today. So Euro CHF called a buy at 113.216, right? 113.216 on the 4-hour time frame. So we're going to drop to the 30-minute. We're going to identify that downtrend, right? Using any high, doesn't matter. More sure it got caught around there. No, coming down to our 15-minute time frame where we're looking for entry. Same thing happened here. So you can see here we have the crossing in MACD around here. Right, we had a crossing in MACD around here, and however, the trade broke our trend line here. Right, trade broke our trend line here, and in this case, using the same thing that I would have just told you, all you need to do is wait for the pullback. So you're just gonna wait for the pullback, right? Blue line cross under the orange line, so you know the pullback is happening, which will show this that you see here. This is the pullback, and then as soon as it crosses back above here, right, is when we get the trend line breaking, and then we moved up about 17 pips. All right, guys, so my message to you is Bounceback is working, you know, but the reason why a lot of persons you would see, even on this call, in terms of like consistency, right? The reason why a lot of persons have not found their ticket out with trading, you know, or they're past to leave work, you know, the whole idea why they're not able to become profitable as they want to become is because we do not remain consistent and disciplined with the strategy that we have, right? You don't remain consistent and disciplined with the strategy, always changing the strategy, and you would find that the most profitable traders in forex trading stick to the same strategy, right? Wait for their confirmations. They're not changing all the time, not changing the strategy. And that's the problem that a lot of you guys are experiencing. You're just jumping all over the place and not giving yourself time to really understand trading and your strategy. Because even if you have a strategy and it's not perfect, guess what? If you keep practicing with that one strategy, right? If you keep practicing with that one strategy, you would find that over time your strategy will become better and better and better. This is Euro USD, got called on the 4-hour time frame, right? So I've identified the downtrend here on the 30-minute, right here. Looking for the entry on the 15-minute. Let's see what's happening with the MACD. MACD has not yet crossed, so you guys can actually look at this, right? Look at this. We want to get the break of the trend line and the MACD crossing. I'm sure that this will cross shortly. So what do? From here, we want to identify structure. So we want to identify structure. Let's go from here, right? We want to identify structure there, right? So that we know what area we want the trade to break below to get into the trade as well, right? So this is structure here. Therefore, you can set your call level just on this structure. So you could set your call level around here, right? That would have broken below this structure that we identify, which is where you can see the rejection here, 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 etc. So that would be your call level. So let's go right ahead right now and input our call level on Euro USD for the sell at 1.12288. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that now as well. Right? Now, stop loss. You can put all of this in your call level. You can put it in your notes so that you don't have to come back and do the work. Right? Stop loss above the last high. So my stop loss is 1. Let me just put a price label actually. There we go. That's their stop loss. Right? 112,443. And take profit. All right, take profit. Let's look for structure again, coming out to the 30-minute time frame, and let's identify structure. So structure in this case, you can see this high, this high, and this last low right here, right? So you can see those highs and those lows, and I'm sure that if I take a rectangle box, that they will all match up. Let me start from here and come here. That structure there for us. So we can see we have a reversal zone here as resistance and a reversal zone here as support. So that's our take profit, our first take profit. Let's measure how many pips that would give us. Just about 15 pips, right? Which is good as a take profit 1, right? So TP in this case would be around here, 112, 101, and you could put that in your notes as well. And that's a decent trade there for you today, right? A lot of you guys who have 30 pips as your overall daily take profit, you can either twin trade this or trade this and then wait for another trade to come through, right? So you could twin trade this, giving yourself 15 pips on both trades, or you can wait for another trade to come through. All right, so the last thing I want to run through, before we close off today, guys, remember to watch over the recordings, because myself and Kamar, we actually teach you guys some really good things outside of Bounceback. What we're going to start doing from next week is that we're going to switch it up a bit. So we're going to close off the 90-day Bounceback this week. And we're going to switch it up a bit where we will now actually teach. During the day. So for example, on Tuesdays, we will teach market structure, market geometry, and so on. And then on Thursday, we will be live trading. So that's what we'll be doing. All right, good. So one thing I wanted to do is for the scalpers, if you're looking for a strategy that you can use, to catch about 20 to 25 pips, right? What you're going to do is I am going to show you how you can catch 20 to 25 pips on any pair, actually, right? On any pair. So what you're going to do is that you're going to look for your highest high and your lowest low in any given swing highs or swing lows. So you know that this is a swing high, and then we have a swing low, etc. Right? So let's start with here. Let's start with this swing low. So what you're doing is that you're looking for the highest high or the lowest low. So in this case, we're in the low, and this candle, we're using the lowest candle in our low right here. So we're using the lowest candle, and all we're going to do is identify the high of that wick, right, and the low of that wick as well. And what we're looking for here, one second, let me just increase the border so you can see. What we are looking for here is understanding how higher highs and higher lows and lower highs and lower lows are created, right? So this is a candle here, this small little doji, right? Now what we're waiting for here is a break of this candle. If we have a break of the candle happening, so we need two candles breaking above the high, which I would have identified by the wick, or the low, which I would have identified by the wick, right? So you can see we need two bodied candles breaking above the high of that candle, which we have here. We have one and then we have two, right? Once you get those two bodied candles breaking above this high that you would have identified in your line, in your horizontal ray, right? You can set a buy limit on the high. So this same line, you can set a buy limit, and we're aiming for 20 pips, right? So for example, a buy limit would have been 1.04974. So notice how, because the market needs to come back and retest, right? So notice how when we break above, the market came back and wicked our entry. So you can see how we would have gotten into the trade here, right? We would have gone into the trade here, and then we were just looking for 20 pips. Obviously, this can happen on any time frame. I'm going to come down from the weekly and actually go to any time frame, but this is just showing you how you can actually secure at least 20 pips of profit, right? Even here as well. So I did it on here. You can see how the market took us up. We would have hit our take profit and came out. So we came all the way up here to our swing high, and we're looking for the highest candle here as well. So remember, we're going to take the highs and the low of that candle. So this is the high here by the wick, and this is the low here. This candle has no body, no wick, sorry, right? So remember, we're looking for two candles to close, two bodied candles to close below. So you can see 1, 2, right? Close below, and then we're going to set a sell limit on this line. So you can see how we got a wicked entry here, right? And all we're looking for is 20 pips. This market obviously went well below the 20, well above the 20 pips, so that would have been great. And your stop loss will always be above the high of the same candle that you would have done your analysis on, right? So you can see that there. Now let me actually come down to the 1 hour time frame to show you guys how it can work on any pair, any time frame, right? But obviously don't do it on like the 5 minutes or so on, because you want to try to maximize it. So even in this one, this is your USD, right? Your USD. And if we have to look here, so this is a bit of a swing high here, and we're going to use the highest candle. So we see that, and the low of that particular candle, right? No, two candle bodies closing below. So we have 1 and 2, right? Sell limit on this line. So notice how we got wicked entry in, and we're looking for what? We're looking for 20 pips. So we're looking for 20 pips here. Right? So far we have 19 pips, but in a case like this, I want you guys to, when you're at 10 pips in profit, move your stop loss to entry or move your stop loss in. That way you can secure, right? So this pair right now is still on its way down. So you would have just ranged for a bit, but you can notice how we get clean entry, from this trade, right? And so far we would have went down to 19 pips. So if you want, you can make a note to say I'll be aiming for 15 to 20 pips if you want to scalp this type of strategy, right? Let's do another one. All right, so let's do this one here. A bit of a swing low here on the trend line, right? So we have here the high and the low. We need two body candles breaking above. So we have 1 and 2 buy limit on here. And then what did we get? Well, we did get the impulse move, and this is because of news. Sorry. So you would have gone home more than 20 pips here, but you would have had a perfect entry because you would have had a buy limit on that line. You would have been wicked into that, and then the market obviously took you well above, right? Well above. So this is good. As I said, this is something that you can use for 20 pips. Sometimes if you realize that it doesn't activate because of news or how the market structure would have gone, that's fine. You don't always need to try to force a trade. Just allow the trade to come to you. If you notice that the market has already moved away and hasn't actually waiting your entry, by close of day, right, you can close out your order and just wait for the next day for another setup. We have a swing high here. So we come into the top. I'm going to use this one, right? Two body candles closing below. 1, 2. Sell limit on here. With entry, look at that perfect entry here. And then the market obviously took us down 38 pips. So this is a nice scalping strategy that anybody can use. Anybody can use it, right, guys? And obviously, remember that your stop loss will always be above the last, the high or the low, depending on if it is a buy or sell limit. So let's look at this one here, right? Swing high, swing low. Highest candle in that swing high, right? And we need two body candles breaking below. We do have the 2, but you can see how the market actually moved away. Now remember, we're looking at structure, right? We're looking at structure. Now remember, our stop loss is above here, right? Our stop loss is above here. So although the market took us below, notice what happened. This is why structure is important, right? Notice what happened. You would have got wicked into this trade, right? You would have got wicked into this trade and still caught 20 pips when the market would have dropped below. Stop loss never hit, right? So these types of things show you guys structure as well, right? It shows you guys structure, and I hope that this was a bit useful for those who don't have a strategy or looking for a strategy to use. I had a notification saying that call level was hit, right, guys? So your USD is a go. You can, let's look at the 50-minute time frame, make sure we got that. You could wait for the orange line here to cross on the MACD. So that's all you're waiting for now, the orange line to cross on the histogram, and then you can actually sell into the trade. So that should happen within the next, by the time the next candle forms. If you don't know what time the next candle will form, just look here on the right hand side and you will see a timer. And right now the timer is saying 10 minutes, right? So you can wait for the next 10 minutes for that candle to close, right? To close below, and then see if your orange line has crossed your histogram. All right, guys. So like I said, I would have taught you a quick scalp strategy. If anybody needs me to go over it, just shoot me shoot me a message, or if we're good to go, what are your thoughts? Paula, what are your thoughts on what I would have just went through? What are your thoughts on what I would have just went through? Oh, I'll mute you. Okay, 1 second. One second, 1 second.
Don't put it back up there.
All right, yes, Paula. Paula? Got you on mute. Can't hear you. All right, so seems as though we've lost Paula. Oh. I don't know why, but I've unmuted you. But tell me your thoughts on it. Yeah, guys, if you need an educator to follow as well on IML TV, check out Oran Wright. Trust me, I learn a lot from Oran Wright, right? So check out Oran Wright. He comes on at 9 p.m. on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. So if you want to learn how to trade and understand the market, understand market structure, he's not too advanced. So it's still good for those who are, have gotten a good understanding of the basics. And no need to move over to like more technical analysis and stuff like that. So if you've covered the basics folder, definitely check out Oran Wright Monday to Wednesday. Andrew, message me on, I will send you a message. Or actually look for me on Instagram at Coach Cure, and you could drop me a DM. Tamar says that your USD looks ready. Let's have a look quickly. It's not ready as yet. Orange line has not crossed. So we're still waiting for that confirmation. But definitely a trade that you guys could jump in maybe in the next 5 minutes. Just wait for that orange line to cross the histogram. All right, good. So guys, thanks a lot for joining me today. And remember to watch the recording if you want to learn that strategy. So I will see you guys on Thursday with Kamar. And guys, have a beautiful day. And may it be filled with pips.